just did this crazy drive up these switchbacks, and I'll say everyone talks about the Swiss Alps, but the Julian Alps in Slovenia, man, this is unbelievably beautiful. Definitely one of those views that videos do not do justice. Unreal. Man, at least amongst my friend group, I don't really hear a lot of people talking about traveling to Slovenia, but even right here alone, just starting this hike, it's absolutely beautiful, and we haven't even gone to Lake Bled yet. So this is gearing up to be a good day. And as I travel for an extended period of time, being on this hike just really reminds me of how much I loved living in Colorado and being able to hike on the weekends, and at any given moment to be able to drive out like 45 minutes an hour out there and be able to reset and be in nature and have like some distance from day-to-day rhythms to be able to really decompress my mind and have a great conversation with friends while appreciating nature. It's hard to substitute, and I think just this reinforces the value of spending time in nature, especially when it's readily accessible if you happen to live close to it. Okay, so in the last couple weeks as I've been traveling, I've personally been reflecting a lot on like what routine looks like during extended travel. How do I continue to take care of myself, sleep properly, eat well, to be mentally clear and build structure? And I am working part-time, so that helps. But Chris, a lot of what we've talked about in our friend group is the power of positive constraints, things that keep you accountable to be more focused with your time. What does that mean to you? How do you think about having positive constraints in your life?
There's a lot of rabbit hole you can go down there. I think it's the idea that there's unlimited freedom is sometimes a little bit overwhelming in the sense that
Absolutely.
It's nice to have certain structure to create certain earmarks. Having a significant other is a great example, right? Of taking it from the example of when you're younger, maybe single, it's let me spend more money and time going to bars. Let me spend a lot of mental and spiritual energy thinking about flirting, dating, texting girls, trying to talk to girls, set up dates, all of this stuff, which is nice for that phase of life, you know? But then when you're, you know, once you actually have that, you kind of realize, okay, this one person, if you can find the right one, can almost think about it fits a key into a right lock and it turns. And you know, now I have the most amazing girl ever, soon to be my wife, and I'm so lucky. Like I don't have to think about other women. I don't have to think about like that energy that occupies a man's mind a lot of times doesn't exist as much anymore, if at all. And I think it's very powerful. It frees you up to think about other things, free you up to be more available emotionally and mentally. And that's
because you don't have to focus on meeting the right woman once you have found that right person. I think also the cool thing about that too is knowing that at a given, you have to prioritize like a relationship or a job or something that you care about, like in this case, like managing or fostering a relationship with a loved one. And that is something you have to do every week or on a daily basis. Like even we're traveling together and you're calling your fiance every day to keep up with each other. And that's great because you know within your schedule you have to do that. It creates structure. So then you know, okay, I have to do these things. So then in my available time, it gives you more direction and more of a compass to use that time more effectively. But then I guess in terms of how that applies on a career standpoint, I think a really simple, effective strategy that has helped me a lot in my career. Oh, let me try not to fall. It's just time boxing. There's this idea of Parkinson's law that the more time you give yourself to do a given task, the longer it'll take. And so you can think about that like if you're writing a paper for school, that it's easy to procrastinate until the last moment. This is so sketchy walking like this, but we're doing it. Sorry, Mom. But I think in terms of work, it really highlights the power of time boxing, because if you give yourself, say, 3 hours to do 4 things, you're much more likely to use that time in a much more focused manner. Like I often do this going to coffee shops, that like if I go to a coffee shop, I'm gonna get a coffee, sit down, know what I'm gonna do, and I'm much more likely to accomplish just a couple specific tasks in that time.
It can be very hard for me to be effective and work hard and get things done because I know that I have a pretty open-ended time spectrum for the next week.
Yep.
Whereas if I'm either constrained by, you know, fixed deadlines on a project to be done, or I can create a time box of, okay, next 90 minutes or an hour or 2 hours, whatever, I'm gonna get these couple things done. And by doing it that way, you're constraining yourself because you're saying, oh, I can't do anything else for this 2 hours but that. But then maybe you get it done versus leaving it open-ended and maybe you never do it.
It's like, oh, I have a week to do this. The next thing you know, it's Friday. You're like, oh, it's like 3 p.m. and I got to do this. Man, we just took an alternate route and traversed across this gravel, and the holds weren't the best, but it was fun and definitely not easy. It makes me grateful to have functional feet and legs always. It's gorgeous out here. It makes me want to go to the Swiss Alps or Dolomites. Oh my God. Nice balance.
That's one way.
Alright, we made it to Lake Bled. It's beautiful here. There's a lot of cool places to hang out. We're about to start on a hike, but then we went to the bathroom and then saw that they had this Lake Bled cake that apparently you have to try. So we're gonna slice this up and give it a shot, see what it's about. Alright, give it a shot, let's see. It looks amazing. It has a little graham cracker on top. This will be good fuel for our mini hike that we do. The texture looks really good. It's super soft and it has layers. Yeah, that's a nice big bite, bro. Fire?
Oh, yeah.
1 to 10?
8.
Nice.
Yeah, this is really good.
Nice big bite.
Big bite only.
It's nice. It's like a lemon custard type of flavor in the middle, and then the graham cracker, whatever this is on top, it's really soft. It's really good. Yeah, I'll still have 8 out of 10.
The powdered sugar is great.
We're starting a little hike to get some viewpoints around Lake Bled, and my immediate first thoughts are that I wish we had more time here because this seems like a great place to just like spend the night, do a bunch of activities, go out to the church in the middle, go to the castle, get another viewpoint, and just hang out, relax, eat more Bled lemon cake, whatever that was. Man, we are working for it today, but luckily this route that we're taking on all trails gives you 3 peaks, so it's rewarding. Just finished the first peak, going on to the second loop back. Ooh, second viewpoint, 1,000 feet elevation gain. We made it. Much quieter than the first one. That one was packed with people. This is very beautiful. Got the church and castle right there. Look at that view. The water's stunning. Unbelievable. And that is where we started from, just about 40 minutes ago, and 1,000 feet of elevation gain later. Nice. Made it to the third viewpoint. It's Mala Osnica. And we've been walking nonstop for the last couple days between Bled and now Lake Bled in the Julian Alps, but this country is spectacular. Slovenia, I'll definitely be back, I hope.
Very underrated. I don't know why no one's told me to come. It's unreal.
Yeah, unbelievable. I don't think videos do it justice, but the water is just so blue. It's so blue. Look at that.
Oh, bird.
All right, finishing up our walk around Bled, getting some nice panoramic views, and honestly wish we both, or what we were both talking about just now, that we wish we had a little bit more time to get some paddle boards and just chill by the water. But it's a beautiful place and could definitely see myself returning here. It's sick.
Return.
Yeah.
Absolutely.